Hey everyone, this is going to be short and sweet today, but we wanted to share with you before we go off to Scotland tomorrow, we wanted to share with you our backyard, our inspiration, and really kind of the art of possibility, which is really what we're about with the Adjacent Possible. And so I'm here with Dr. Bruce Sawhill.
Thank you.
In our backyard, and one of the things I love about this backyard is all the plants and fruit trees and flowers and vegetables and these fantastic sunflowers that are just enormous and really varied. And it makes me think of Van Gogh, and it makes me think about inspiration and how artists, as artists, we're inspired continually, and especially by nature. And if you think about these sunflowers, they are varied in color, in size, in shape, in orientation, in the rhythms between them, and how they smell and all of that. And all of this can be used in one's art, even and probably especially in abstract art. So this is one of my inspirations, and Bruce is a big gardener, and it's because of Bruce that we have these
That's
plants.
true. It took some persuading to get Nancy to plant these. I prepared the ground and everything, but insisted that she plant them. And we got 5 or 6 packets of seeds, and just interspersed them. And we thought it'd be a temporary thing until we plant something permanent here. But we like it so much, we might just do this forever.
Exactly. Let me grab something for a minute. I'm going to come in and zoom in on you for a minute, and let's move into these flowers.
I wanted to tell a story.
Okay.
I wanted to tell a story of the Adjacent Possible, how that book got its title, and how it got its title is a lesson in the Adjacent Possible itself. So 2 years ago, a little, not quite, Nancy gave a live workshop at a conference center near here called 1440 Multiversity. And I was originally roped in just to, move paints and easels around and things like that. But my background is math, physics, and music. And so eventually I got asked to provide a soundtrack for all the painting that was going on that would evoke certain moods. And also to describe some of the science that I do, complexity science. And one of the concepts that came up from evolutionary biology is called the Adjacent Possible. And for some reason, it got a stupendous resonance with the 20 or so artists there. And they decided spontaneously, without any input from us, to call themselves the Adjacents. And we thought, well, if that has such a powerful motivating influence, they wanted t-shirts for this and everything, which we may yet do. So I think that was the genesis of the book. We started thinking about how you can stumble into things, and if you're aware, you can really make use of them. Winston Churchill said most people, when they stumble over the truth, pick themselves up and carry on as if nothing had happened. But the Adjacent Possible is about paying attention and purposefully stumbling over things.
I love that. And that was so exciting when the group called themselves the Adjacent. So here we are. The book is now out in print today. So we're super excited about that. And so we want to show you these flowers up close. And then we want to show you something that's close to our heart, which is the community fridges, which we've been a part of for over a year now. It started with our daughter, Kimmy Peterson, who began this project, and we're going to continue it as she leaves for St. Andrews. And we'll show you that in a moment. Our fridge in the front and all the amazing food we have in there for the community. So we'll talk about that in a minute, but let me grab the camera.
Okay.
And hold on just a minute. Just stay right there, Bruce. Yeah, we got it. So let's take a look at these flowers. Oh my goodness, show us this. Look at this, Bruce. These gigantic sunflowers. Some of them facing down, some of them facing up, some of them emerging. Look, there's a butterfly on one. Some of them dying off, like flux, as we talk about flux.
Some of them are so heavy, they're collapsing under their own weight.
Let's look at
The
this.
flowers.
Yes, this is continual evolution in nature. Here we got a different color. This is the life, death, life cycle. Look at this gigantic one hanging down. And this one is going away up here. It's dying away. And it's all part of life. Look at this. These amazing, gigantic flowers. And if you look at the rhythms, let's look down here. Look at the rhythms, the dance of movement of the flowers, the spaces between the notes, so to speak, the intervals. We look at all of these kinds of things in abstract painting. So nature has so much to teach us. And so we kind of exhort you to look into what it is you're excited about, what you're inspired by in nature, and bring that into your art. Look at these. These are dying away. And it might be color, it might be shapes, it might be dance, it might be the breathing spaces between the notes. Whatever it is, it might be many things. You can bring this into your art, whatever it is that you love. So now let's go ahead and move. Let's start walking. Let me just show you for a second though. Bruce is over here by the tomatoes.
Eating a tomato.
We've got tomato plants. We've got an apple tree.
That's a persimmon tree.
Persimmon tree right here.
Some rhubarb under it.
Rhubarb there. Over there is
An orange tree hiding behind the persimmon tree.
what kind of limes are those?
Rangpur limes, a kind of Indonesian lime that looks like a mandarin but is sour.
And we have tangerines as well. So these are the Rangpur limes here. And they look kind of similar to the tangerines. Now we took a lot of tangerines off the tree, and you'll see that in a moment. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a walk to the community fridge and tell us what we have here. We've got some fruit trees here. What is this, Bruce?
See, this is a Gravenstein apple. This is a pear.
This is a pear tree. Okay.
A Warren pear. Watch out for you.
Okay.
This is an Arctic nectarine tree.
Where is that?
Right here.
Okay, hold on. Let
So
me.
we're ducking under.
Right here. Moving along the side of our house here. Are we
There's a
growing?
honey crisp apple.
Are we growing gardenias as well?
Yes, there's a bunch of
You'll
blueberries
see it.
and
These are
gardenias at the end.
blueberries here, and a gardenia at the very front, right here. And I'm going to move around to the fridge, the community fridge. So let's step back and look at it. So this is our community fridge. We're so proud of it. And Kimmy painted the front of the fridge the yellow color and the words on it, free food, take what you need, leave what you can. And our neighbor built this enclosure, and it's so gorgeous. And it made all the difference in the world, because once we had the enclosure, more people brought food.
Yes, it
Right?
became legitimate.
Now let's look at what we've got here. We've got tinned fish, oysters, yellowfin tuna, wild Pacific sardines, smoked herring. We've got our tangerines, or these are mandarins, from our tree that you saw a moment ago. These are more of the tangerines. And here are apples from our tree, and there was one orange left on our tree. Then we move over, we've got some granola bars, and then we have some macaroni and some spaghetti that people have left for us. And we move on down to tabbouleh and some Indian fare, lentils and eggplant. And what is this, Bruce?
Spaghetti squash. Some
Spaghetti
neighbors left
squash.
that.
Yeah, the neighbors left that. Amazing. And we've got corn chowder, and we've got right now 2 canned. We've got some turkey chili with beans and some organic Great North beans. Sometimes we have just tons of canned foods here. Here's some more of our mandarins. Let's look in the freezer. Okay, Okay, we've got right now some bread in there because that really keeps the bread. And then what do we have in the refrigerator? Okay, what do we have here, Bruce? Can you tell us?
Well, we've got some
What are
little
these?
wedges of cheese. We've got plums, not from us, but from a neighbor.
Look at these
Got
gorgeous
a lot of
plums.
Beautiful plums.
Talk about the fecundity of Santa Cruz, California. These were from a neighbor.
This
And
is the proverbial Mediterranean climate that 2% of the earth has, and we definitely are aware of how lucky we are to be in that 2%.
we've got so much, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those containers. Then we've got the cheeses right now. These are tomatoes from our tomato plant. Is that pear? It looked like 2 pears someone brought by. More tangerines and more tomatoes. So, wow. And it's constantly in flux.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
People are visiting a lot. I've seen
Yeah.
sometimes a dozen people in a day. And also, people come by and drop things off. Sometimes just neighbors, other times grocery stores and restaurants. So you never know what you're going to find. It's been very interesting.
Yeah, so basically this is what we've got, and we're just so happy to share this with you. Hope you enjoyed it, and we're taking off for Scotland tomorrow. So, but we'll be engaged with you and checking in, and I hope that you get the book, The Adjacent Possible, because 100% of proceeds for the first 30 days is going to go directly to Feeding America and community fridges. So be a part of that. One book, one action at a time. We can make a difference. Artists, creatives, and people can make a difference. So thank you so much.